Hi everyone, my name is Jordan, and in this video I'm going to be sharing with you my top 10 sales from eBay in my first year of reselling, from the end of February 2024 to the end of February 2025. So whether you're looking for some motivation when you're outsourcing, or maybe you're new to the eBay reselling business and you want to know what kind of things should you be looking for, I hope that you can find this video helpful. And so without further ado, let's get into it. My top 10 sales from my first year reselling on eBay. Coming in at number 10 was this Sangian ATS World Receiver. I don't know a whole lot about this, but I do know that radios by Sangian are something that you're going to want to keep an eye out for. They make disaster radios. I think they're maybe two-way in some way, or they pick up disaster channels or a different frequency. I don't know anything about radios, but I do know that you don't need to know anything about radios to find out what sells. This came with a case. This came with original instructions. It came with the back clip for the batteries. You always want to check about that. Many times radios will be missing, or any electronics will be missing that case where the batteries go into, the back cover. So you want to make sure all that's there. Would have bought it either way, but probably would have had to sell it for a little bit less. I picked this up for $10 at a local thrift store in my hometown. Sold it for $120 total. eBay's payout was $86, so I saw about a $76 profit on this after cost of goods. Coming in at number 9 was this Omega Virus board game. This is from the 80s, made by Milton Bradley. 1992. This, I actually had seen this exact board game on a video I had just watched like a week before about board games to keep your eyes open for. Saw it at a garage sale. As soon as I saw it, I knew I was probably buying it. I did have to pay up for it. I spent $30 on it. Somebody bought it for $125. eBay's payout was $80, so that would make me a $45 profit for my 9th best sale of my first year. Number 8 is like number 9 in the fact that I had just seen a video about this product within the past couple of weeks before finding it from J-Ride Flips. This one is a vintage humidifier from the 1970s made by Hank's Craft. These things are bulky. They're about 14 inches round by 10 inches high. They don't look like much, but as soon as I saw it, I knew that I needed to have it. It was $8, tested it, everything worked great. Kind of bulky to ship, but it's worth it when you can pick it up for $8, which is what I did. Sold it for, total sales price was $130. eBay payout was $81, giving me a profit of $73. Coming in at number 7 are these Ray-Ban sunglasses. These were a wood grain Wayfarer, not actually wood, but the arms and outline of the lenses looks like a wood grain. The inside was colorful. My cost of goods on these was actually free. I lucked into receiving a bunch of kind of old clothes from a client of my mom. My mom cleans houses. She has for 20 plus years, and it pays off when people know that you are reselling on eBay, because my mom must have mentioned something about my reselling business, and her client said, "Hey, I've got a bunch of old stuff that I don't use anymore. Would he like any of it?" The answer to that should always be yes. And if you don't want to sell it, you can get rid of it, donate it later, toss it if it's worth nothing. These were worth something. My cost of goods were $0. Sold them for $132.50. eBay payout was $97. That was $97 pure profit. Top sale number 6 was a porcelain nativity set. Not quite an outdoor set, but it was a bigger one. That thing weighed probably 40 pounds. And those figurines were, some of them were like 16 inches tall or something like that. This, I was really concerned about shipping, but just because it'll break. I mean, it's easy to do. With these really bigger items, you want to ship FedEx home delivery, FedEx ground home delivery, or UPS ground. You don't want to ship USPS once boxes get over a certain size. So I was planning to ship this one FedEx ground, but then, funny enough, I found out that the person lived 20 minutes from my house. Actually less, like 18 minutes from my house. And so then rather than, I'd already picked it up and I was going to print off the shipping label, saw the address, Twin Cities, that's where I am, and I said, rather than having this get broken transit, I wonder if they'll just let me drop it off. And so I messaged the buyer and I said, hey, would you mind if I would just drop this off? My wife was actually in labor at this point. So I didn't do it the exact same day. I did it the day after. And, but I just asked for permission to drop it off. And she said, yep, that'll work. And so I did that. You don't want to do that for everything. Obviously you can't, but I couldn't upload tracking information. So I had to hope that it was a good buyer that's not going to lie and say that the package never showed up. Yeah, so I had $15 into this on cost of goods. Buyer paid $136 for it, giving me a profit of $87, less some for gas. Coming in at number 5 is this vintage Jerry baby hiking backpack. This thing does not look like much when you see it in a thrift store. Probably weighs less than a pound. But it's what they used to carry babies in on their backs when they hike, made out of like aluminum. My wife had found it for $3 in a thrift store on our way back from her her dad's house in Wisconsin. And I didn't find anything at this thrift store, but this was my wife's best find to date. And $3. This total sales were $152 somebody paid for this. eBay paid us out $93, and $90 of that was profit. I did buy a bigger box for this one from Menards, so you can subtract $4 from that, but still a great find. And we also got to write off the trip because it was a business work mileage commute to her dad's or the thrift store and back, so that's always good too. Benefits of being self-employed. Coming in at number 4 is this Easton Ghost fast pitch softball bat. Not all Easton bats, Easton's a brand to watch for bats especially, but not all Eastons are equal. Same thing with Ghost bats. You definitely want to look them up, but not all of them are created equal. This one is Easton Ghost. This is a drop 10 softball bat. What I mean by that is it was 10 ounces less than the length in inches. So this one was 33 inches long, 23 ounces. 33 minus 23 is a minus 10 bat or a drop 10 bat. For baseball, you want to be looking for drop 3 bats because those tend to be the bigger bats used by college players, upper levels, high school, and they tend to be more expensive. Softball, you can obviously get away with minus 10. I found this within my first couple of months of reselling on eBay. Found it for $4 at a thrift store. This thing was really beat up. It had chips in it. It was like scratched up. No real dents, but you disclose all of those things. You take pictures of them, and it's still sold for $170 internationally. eBay paid out $121, so this was a $117 profit for me. Coming in at number 3 is this, how do we say that? Kyocera Yashica T4D Carl Zeiss Tesser 35mm film camera. Do I know anything about this? No. Do I think it was made in Japan? Yes. Most cameras that are made in Japan are at least worth looking up. All of the lenses and accessories, lens hoods, bags even. If it's made in Japan, go ahead, look up the model number. I don't know anything about it, but the good thing is you don't need to know anything about it to sell it on eBay. I picked this up, cost of goods was $5 or $6. It sold for $205. eBay paid out $153, giving me a $148 profit. Coming in at number 2 is this Panasonic DVD recorder. When it comes to DVD players and recorders, I do look up a lot of them. I know that DVD players typically aren't going to be worth much. I always anticipate a DVD recorder to be worth picking up if I can get it for $7 or less. Sometimes they're not, and sometimes they don't always work. I have a couple of thrift stores that I trust They put a tested sticker on it, and they say that they test it. I'm good with not testing those at home. I did have one issue with a Keurig from there one time, but I haven't had issues with VHS players or DVD player recorders. I picked this one up. I didn't do a good job of tracking cost of goods early on. It's probably, I think I paid up for this one. It might have been $20. But somebody bought it for $205. eBay's payout was $141, so my profit was probably about $120. My number one sale from my first year reselling on eBay was actually my coolest sale, so it's pretty fitting. I think it was my coolest. It was this Tascam Mini Studio Porta analog cassette recorder. This thing was really cool. Cassette recorders you always want to be aware of because they sell really well. They don't manufacture them anymore, I don't believe. But also, people still use them, especially police stations still record on cassettes so that they can admit those into evidence, I think. Either way, they sell really well. And this one was a lot more than that. It's actually like a mini studio with different plugins for mics and for instruments. And so it's almost like you could record live music at a professional level in this little mini studio. Different dials and things. Really cool. It came with a bunch of accessories. I did pay up for this. I paid $30. But the nice thing about eBay with those searching tools is I knew that it was worth something. I knew that I would sell it, and I did sell it. $309 was the total sale price. eBay paid out $230, giving me a $200 profit. And that actually is going to wrap up my top 10 sales from my first year reselling on eBay. Hopefully you found this helpful. If you did, you can like, subscribe, hit the notification bell for more. And in the comment box below, why don't you let us know, what was your favorite sale from your first year reselling on eBay? Doesn't have to be your biggest sale. It could be your coolest, most unique sale. Let us know. Give us some ideas for when we're outsourcing, and we can all hopefully do well and grow together. And so until next time, good luck, and we'll see you in the next one.